It's a quick update on my Sega Nomad battery mod that I'm doing here, and as you can see I've now got the new battery installed in there. So I had to remove some of the old housing that held the older batteries in place, and then after that the new battery just fit right in there, and hot glued it in place, and then just kind of daisy chained the positive and negative from the contact points here onto the contact points in the battery, and then up to the power jack here as well. So at first I was kind of hoping to reuse parts of this old charging circuit. Obviously couldn't use the old charging circuit because it wouldn't be compatible with the new lithium-ion battery, and also I think something on this had burnt out anyway, so I couldn't use that. But I was still hoping to use the LED here, the kind of indicator that told you the power is running through the circuit, and the power jack as well, just to charge the battery. And I was also hoping to only have to use the official mains adapter here. This outputs a 9V supply, or at least it says it does, and this requires an 8.4V supply to charge. But testing the power that this actually outputs around 14V, which is quite a lot higher than what I'd need for this. So what I ended up doing was having a look around in this old circuit here to find if there was a suitable power source, and surprisingly there was an 8.4V supply on this board, and even better, I could still retain the use of the power LED by tapping into that. So that's what I did initially. I managed to get the battery to charged it for around 35 to 40 minutes, and tested it out, all worked fine. So when I drained the battery, I went to charge it again, and I noticed that some of the components in the board were getting quite warm, so obviously they were still drawing power. So what I ended up doing was just removing them and isolating this circuit, this old charging circuit here, and still retained the use of the LED. But even still, I noticed that there's this little, I don't know if you can see that too well, there's a little diode there, and that was getting really warm, so it was obviously getting overloaded. And I thought eventually the safest thing to do would just be to completely isolate the old circuit from the new battery here. So what I did was I just cut the traces to the positive and negative on the power jack there. So obviously I can't use this anymore because it would probably damage the battery. So what I'm going to do is just get a proper charger for this and run a special connector off it, and then I can just plug it straight in there and charge it through that. But for now I'm just using a power adapter set at like around 8.5V, and I just plug it in there to charge the battery. But the thing is, obviously without having the proper charger, I don't know how charged the battery is, so I don't like to leave it charging for any more than like 30 minutes at a time. I don't want to overcharge the battery or damage it in any way. So I've got a dedicated charger for these batteries coming in the post. So when I get that, I'll modify a special output for it that'll just plug in there. But yeah, so far it's looking good, and I can just test it out now and I'll show you it working. So what I'll do is I'll just plug it into the back of the Nomad here and show you it working. So I'll leave the top cover off for now just so you can see it does work. Just plug that in there. As you can see, it's much smaller than the old battery pack. Well, it takes up a lot less room, and it's a lot lighter. It's not as bulky as the older one. So what I'll do here is I'll just turn this on. I've got my Japanese copy in there, so I need to hold the A button down to make it boot in the Japanese mode. So it's boot up there. But as you can see, it works fine. The game loads up. You've got sound. And you can play the game, no wires attached, and that's with running the new battery there. So I can go ahead and I'll actually just put this casing back on. But what I'm going to do is, yeah, like I say, get a proper charging adapter for those batteries, and I'll just make a special cable that plugs in there to charge it, so I don't need to bother about using random power supplies to charge the batteries, which would probably end up damaging it if I'm not careful. But for now, yeah, managed to test this out the other night, and I got, I think it was 4.5 hours playtime out of this, and that was with a what was it, 35 to 40 minute charge from on the battery. So that's really good. So what I'll do is just show you some footage of that I took the other night.